Beef Farm Bureau. Scott Berry joins us now, head baseball coach at Southern Miss. Old Dominion takes 2 of 3 in Hattiesburg this weekend, a 4-1 win on Friday night, a 1-run win 4-3 on Saturday. And then Southern Miss gets the final game of the weekend, 5-4 yesterday in 10 innings. And, Coach, I guess let's start with Game 3 and the importance of salvaging that final game. I know this is kind of a baseball cliche, but when you talk about conference games, they all count exactly the same. I know it's about winning series and you want to be playing your best ball, but getting that one win yesterday, what did that mean when it was all said and done?
Well, you get swept, whether you're at home or on the road, it's devastating when it's all said and done. So any way to avoid that is certainly the challenge, and that's what it was yesterday, Richard. We, ran into a really good Old Dominion team. Now, granted, I don't think we're playing our best ball right now. We just got through a couple of weeks ago with 27 days without losing, 15 straight wins, and, had a couple of injuries that kind of messed up some things chemistry-wise, and, that's part of it. Everybody has the injuries. You look at Mississippi State with their real good pitcher there early in the year. With him going down, how does that affect them? I mean, you just never know. But we've lost the last 2 weekend series, and both times we've had our backs against the wall on that Sunday trying to salvage a game out of the 3. And yesterday was no different. It was about the mental side and how you wanted to compete and needed to compete to get that win.
I thought being able to kind of overcome, especially given that there had been a couple of close games, so you've got the lead and Old Dominion ties it up in the top of the 9th inning. 1, to keep it tied, and then 2, to kind of keep your composure to be able to put up a 0 in the top of the 10th inning and then grind out a run in the bottom of the 10th. Does that kind of speak to the mindset and the mental piece you're talking about?
Yeah, no doubt. We've played really well over the course of the year, in all honesty. Yeah. I mean, our pitching has been really good and has kept us in games, and they kept us in all 3 of these games. Unfortunately, we didn't hit enough in 2 of them to get the wins that we needed. But, if you look at Old Dominion, boy, they're physical, Richard. They swing for the fences. I mean, we had 44 strikes. We struck them out 44 times in 3 games, but they hit 3 home runs, and a couple of those were costly home runs for us, and just pitches that left up. And they're big, strong guys, and they have one thing on mind, and that's leaving the yard. And when they connect with that ball, it's got a good chance of doing that. But they made every play defensively except the one play there in the bottom of the 10th yesterday, a 1-out error that opened up us to put together a double, move him to second and third, and then Lynch with the walk-off single to get that run. But, you're sitting there, you got a 4-3 lead going into the bottom of the 9th. You get 2 quick outs. As they say, the hardest out's usually that last one. And then all of a sudden this guy Oppo bombs it off the video board net, and here we are tied. And you're thinking, holy cow, how are we going to survive this? We're going to have to be really, really tough. And, nobody really panicked. I mean, it was like, okay, it's not over. We've got a tie ball game. We've got to go back to work. And it wasn't what we thought it was going to be at that time. And that's exactly what our guys did. So I was really proud of them for that.
Let's go back to Friday night. Low-scoring game, 4-1 the final. It's a 1-1 game going into the 5th. Old Dominion kind of does what they do. I mean, it wasn't a home run right there. It was, I guess, manufacturing a run with an RBI single, and then they get the solo home run in the 8th and one more in the 9th. Just kind of your thoughts on that first game and, maybe more than anything, what Tanner Hall gave you, because he gives you 8 innings.
Oh, man, 8 innings, 14 strikeouts, no walks,
Yeah.
That's the one thing with Old Dominion. You can't hurt yourself by giving them freebies with walks and HBPs. Otherwise, that solo home run all of a sudden becomes a multi-run home run. And the 2 home runs that he did give up, they were both solo shots. But, the storyline on that night is we had 5 for 5 of the 9 innings, we had a runner at second base. And 2 of those 5 innings, we had runner at second base and nobody out, and weren't able to get them in. Only one of those there, Sargent there in the bottom of the 3rd, got a 2-out RBI. but that was the only run that we were able to play. We had left 9 guys on. We missed in those opportunities, and maybe they were 2-out hits. But those are the ones when you're winning games and you're doing the right things. Those are the ones that usually win you the games, and they eluded us on Friday.
Hunter Riggins goes 6 innings on Saturday. He gives up 8 hits, only 3 earned runs, and Dalton Rogers finishes it off for you and pitches pretty well. I guess 8 strikeouts in those last 3 innings for Dalton Rogers. But same story on Saturday, just not able to come up with that big hit that you need at the crucial time?
A lot of right at 'em balls. I mean, we hit a lot of balls on Saturday hard and just lined out right straight to them. And of course, the game ended there. We had the tying run at third base. We were first and third, and they were shifted Dickerson way over to the left side, and he tried to inside out it and hit it right straight to the first baseman, who started to 3-6-3. And that first baseman, was phenomenal defensively. Not only is he a great hitter, but his defense saved him a lot of runs this weekend as well by his play over there. So another one of those situations where a good friend of mine, old wise man, told me going home that night. He said, just wasn't your day, Scott Berry. I said, yep, you're right. So that was
thanks a lot for that.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to go back to something that you said a second ago. You said not playing your best baseball. You spent a month, really the entire month of April, playing about as well as you could play, and you're catching some breaks and you're getting timely hits. I know if it was bottled up and sold on a shelf, you'd buy it, and if you had the answer, you'd sell it. But how do you get your team back to that, where they're playing with confidence and they're looking forward to that big opportunity as opposed to hope we don't mess up in this spot?
Well, I just think in the absence of right now, we're missing Reese Ewing, who is our 3-hole hitter and arguably our best outfielder. I mean, he has developed himself into a really, really good outfielder there in left field. And, with that, we're having to shuffle some guys in that might not be as athletic in the outfield. And, a ball's going to find those kind of guys, and they work hard at it. It's just, there's a reason why they're not out there as a starter. But, I think once we get Reese back, whenever that is, and I don't know, I don't have a timeline on that. I thought, hopefully we might have him for this weekend, but that looks doubtful now, and maybe it's the last weekend. Certainly what we don't want to do is push that broken hand and certainly set us back even further. But until that time, Richard, we're just going to have guys who have been in there every day. They're going to have to pull more of a load than what they've been doing. They're going to have to step up their game. And then guys that we implement, you got to believe a star is born every day. And those guys have to be that star that all of a sudden comes out and gives you what maybe you weren't anticipating them to give you. But, you trust that they've been working hard, they've been preparing for the opportunity, and that they take advantage of that opportunity.
So, Coach, last thing, a couple of minutes left. I mean, obviously everybody's goal is to get to the College World Series, and you want to give yourself the best chance you can to get there. And so you're trying to play well enough to be in a regional host spot. The margin for error is smaller for that now than it was 2 weeks ago, which kind of makes this week coming up massive. I mean, a huge opportunity on Wednesday night against Ole Miss, and then you got UTSA coming in, and that's a team that you told us last week playing really good baseball.
They are. And, I'll tell you, the message yesterday before the game was, 2 weeks ago, we were a little bit different team. The numbers were a little bit different. The numbers and the rankings and all that, which we don't try to talk about that at all. We never have. We kind of just let that stay to the outside if possible. Obviously, it works its way inside through social media and other outlets and people. But, we try to keep that separate. And those numbers only mean something at the end of the year, not at the beginning. But what is right now our real focus is obviously Wednesday night. Ole Miss is the next game that we have, and that's the most important game on our schedule. But after that, our goal is to win a conference championship, a CUSA championship. And right now we got a 2-game lead over UTSA and La Tech, and that's where that's our goal. And everything else is outside of that. That's down the road. The main thing is to keep winning and win a conference championship, and that's what we need to focus on.
Certainly going to be keeping an eye on it this week, Coach. As always, we appreciate your time and wish you all the best.
I appreciate it, Richard. Thank you.
Scott Berry, head baseball coach.